So y'all saw the video of me with Dr. Steiner, and I just thought I'd share how I met him and how I got introduced into chiropractic as an opportunity and treatment for myself, as well as kind of really what catapulted all of these things that have gone forward in my life. So most people don't know that I actually have a third-degree black belt. That was actually my first job. So I was 16 years old, and one of the days after we were done teaching classes, I was chatting with some friends, and I was sitting in a rolly chair laughing really hard, and I twisted just a little bit in the chair, in the office chair, and click. And all of a sudden, I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe. I didn't know what the heck was going on, and gosh darn it, all my friends, they were trying to make me feel better, because there's a part of me that I'm like, okay, I'm trying not to freak out because I can't move and I can't breathe, and what is happening? Every time I tried to take a full breath, my whole rib cage would just and lock up. Well, it just so happened that the Krav Maga instructor and owner was like, hey, you know what? I have a chiropractor that comes to one of my classes. Let me see if he's planning to be here tonight, and maybe he can help. So there I was in the middle of the martial arts center. I had my first chiropractic adjustment. Yes, literally. So we're in the hallway. We have a bench, and he goes and puts everything back. Praise God, where it belonged. This, my friends, was my first introduction to what a chiropractor was, to treatment that was totally, obviously not planned, and honestly, what a godsend that it was, because I had no idea, obviously, at that age to know what to do. But this also was the beginning of some further things that happened down the line. Turns out that was not the only time that my ribs would have an opinion, as I typically like to word. I'm like, they're a little opinionated. And actually, I should also say too, because chiropractors don't really like it when you say, oh, my rib is out, because it's not really out, right? Because like the ribs, they just articulate with the spine. But they get, where the rib heads just get just a little off. And that little off can really make a big difference into how your muscles and everything and how your body responds. It was also the beginning of finding out, at the time, I mean, I still am, hypermobile. And so then there's the conversation of the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, like that's a possibility, which it's just, so it's EDS, and it affects your connective tissue. And there's several different, maybe levels or classifications, and the ribs are actually one of them. And so it was definitely like, I don't want to say a snowball, because that would say like it got worse and worse and worse, right? But I definitely had more episodes, especially through my 20s, of incidents that I found myself back at the chiropractor. And so Alba had to learn, what do I do to stabilize myself and make it possible so this doesn't keep happening, because it's not fun, right? And especially you do that on a weekend, and your chiropractor ain't open on a Sunday or Saturday or Sunday, and yeah, not fun. But who would have guessed that a rib was going to be what started all these things and started the curiosity of what does Alba need to do, and to take care of my own body and do something for myself that, yeah, there's a way that I can go to fix it, but how can I be preventative? It is so much easier to prevent an issue than it is to fix an issue after the fact. And then, of course, you continue fixing the issue after the fact. Lo and behold, it happens to come back. But if you're preventative, you can change the circumstances moving forward.